All right, happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
Is it Earth Day?
It's Earth Day.
It's Earth Day.
That's pretty epic.
Say thank you to Mother Earth for carrying all this
for
toxicity.
for sponsoring this episode.
Thanks, Mother Earth, for sponsoring this and every episode.
Generous revenue stream from
such as oxygen.
Oxygen. Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Lord.
And atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
The ground.
Yeah, although atmosphere's kind of not her fault.
Not her fault.
Not her fault.
She's giving us what she can spare right now.
Right.
Yeah, we are kind of killing her.
Yeah, well, not us, but
not us specifically, but the top
money-making companies.
Yeah.
Okay.
The top 100 companies, probably in the universe of Yu-Gi-Oh, including Kaiba Corp.
Oh
Probably,
yeah, Kaiba Corp, Illusion, Magic, whatever. Illustrious Illusions?
Industrial Illusions.
Industrial? That's such a weird adjective.
Yeah, it really is.
That's fine. That's good.
It's because the illusions are made up.
I'm destroying the planet!
Alright, Pegasus, you're not in this episode. Go away.
You'll never believe how many trees I had to cut down for one Yu-Gi-Oh card!
Pegasus! You're not featured here today!
I'm sorry, I like the voice.
It's fine. Say Happy Earth Day, Pegasus.
Happy Earth Day, Pegasus. My name's Marble, and my pronouns are she, her.
My name is Ray, and my pronouns are he, him.
And I'm Mars, and my pronouns are they, them. And it's time to pull a card from the deck of friendship.
Ooh!
I
little
dig.
added spice there.
Yeah.
Put a little flavor on it. Put a little...
Was that oregano?
It was a little bit of time. A little bit of time.
A little bit of time wizard, you would say?
I want a card in Yu-Gi-Oh! That is the Time Wizard, but it's the THYME Wizard.
Please. Oh my god, I want a cooking deck.
I want a cooking deck, absolutely.
Oh, y'all, I just had the most galaxy brain moment. Fighting Foodons. It's a 4Kids anime where they fight with cards and friendship, but it's all food.
Ooh.
Yes. So, welcome to our new podcast where we make an anime.
No, it's real. I promise you it's real.
It's real? It's real? Wait.
I'm into this.
They put cards into finished dishes, and then the finished dishes turn into monsters that battle each other.
Wait, what? Wait,
it's called Fighting Foodons.
It's not April Fool's. Are you kidding? I need to look this up.
Oh my god. So little trust in this room.
Oh my god, hold on. It's an actual Google result. What?
Oh my god. Oh!
What the heck?
Forget Yu-Gi-Oh! I want this in my life.
It's a good show. You got Fried Ricer, you got Sandwich, you got...
Can we cover this next season?
Yes, please.
Yes, absolutely. I don't remember any of the other characters.
There are only 26 episodes, so it wouldn't...
Applegator. I remembered Applegator.
There's only 26 episodes, so it wouldn't even be that long of a season for us. Because the Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1, it's gonna take us 50 plus episodes of the show. But we could just knock out a Fighting Foodons season real quick.
I'm into it.
Yes.
By the way, this is a podcast where we cover game-based friendship anime. And you said that cards were involved with Fighting Foodons, so it counts.
Yeah. They're called meal tickets.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I don't know how much Fighting Foodons count, but we gotta cover it.
Right.
This is a podcast where we cover game-based food anime.
Consider this. If we don't, it will be completely lost to the sands of time.
It's
because
true.
When I bring it up, nobody knows what I'm talking about.
It's true. We've got to bring this anime to the world.
Sands of time.
We gotta keep it. keep it out of its grave.
It's so
shallow grave.
unknown that we thought you were joking.
I know. I've had this situation several times in the past.
So we're gonna use Yu-Gi-Oh! To rise to stardom and then bring it in.
There's a cat lady and a weird moth person. Or weird
I have a really great question for y'all.
What is this show? I need to watch it. We need to watch it.
We can't watch it until we watch it together.
We gotta watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now.
You're right. This is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast for right now.
I have an important question for both of you.
Yes.
What is your question?
What happened in the episode we just watched?
We get a little recap. We remember that Grandpa's soul is stolen.
Yeah, it's important to remember that. Always remember rest in peace. Well, rest in
TV.
Rest in TV, Grandpa.
We learn a little bit more about Joey this episode and his sister Serenity, who is running out of time, ominously, as we learn.
Yeah, it's only revealed at the end of the episode that what Serenity means by "I'm running out of time and I want to see you one last time" is, oh, she's going blind. She means it literally.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious to see if in the Japanese version she was literally terminally ill.
Yeah, I'm going to say that she was probably dying in the original.
This episode's kind of segmented into 2 or 3 parts. The first part is kind of learning about Yugi and Joey's backstory and how they became friends, and how Joey and Tristan were jerks and Yugi stood up for them against another bully, and they're like, you're cool, Yugi. And they became best friends. And then
Hey, let's be best friends, Yug.
Exactly. And then the rest of the episode is spent on a big boat as everybody heads to Duelist Kingdom, where... Well, hold on. Okay. This is a little complicated. Yugi's invited. Joey tries to sneak on board but fails, so Yugi gives him one of his star chips to get on board. And then Taya and Tristan somehow sneak aboard successfully.
And I will add that they do not let Joey in on their sneaking onto the boat plan, so he has to essentially take some of Yugi's star chips to get on. Well, Taya and Tristan kind of already had things figured out.
If Joey just stuck with Taya and Tristan, it would have been fine. It would have been fine.
But he never would have had any star chips, so he wouldn't have been
true. Well, to be honest, once they met up, Yugi probably would have given him a star chip at that point.
That's true.
So not much would have changed in the grand scheme of things.
Right. It's to set up the dynamic between Yugi and Joey, where Yugi is useful and Joey's not.
I disagree with that.
I was about to disagree, and I haven't seen the show yet. I just really like Joey.
I just like Joey a lot.
Well, yeah, but it's he sets himself up as a failure, and obviously we're going to see growth from him.
Well, it's that, he has a lot of self-doubt. He has a lot of angst that he portrays in a Brooklyn accent.
Right.
We meet Mai. She has BAPS. Bakura is a guy that they see on the boat who apparently is in their class, and he's a white-haired anime boy, so he's probably going to die.
Yeah, he's a background character in I think he might have had
first 2. He was there.
In the first 2, he's when Joey and Yugi are dueling, he's in the crowd of people, but he is not an important character or named character up to this point.
Dang. So Weevil, the guy that we met in the competition from the last episode, he's there. He pretends to be friends with Joey and Yugi. He takes Yugi's Exodia cards and throws them in the ocean. Joey jumps into the ocean to save the Exodia cards. He only saves 2 of them, but everyone's kind of like, hey Joey, that was maybe you shouldn't risk your life for cards. And they all huddle up, and Joey tells about his tragic backstory about how his sister's going blind, and so he needs to stop screwing up all the time, not getting all 5 Exodia cards, and they're like, no, we're just happy that you're alive and not drowning.
Dead?
Yeah. And then Mai guesses all the cards in her deck in the proper order and uses this magical skill to beat Rex, the other guy who had the dinosaur cards from the competition in the last episode,
Mm-hmm.
and tricks him out of his magical, wonderful VIP cabin, and now she gets to stay in a super nice area.
Yeah, it's she also says that that the other rooms don't have a shower, which is wild.
Yes. I mean,
That's
how
gonna
long's the
that's
trip?
gonna be a stinky boat.
How long's
Yeah.
the trip? That's my question.
At least
it
a
a few
couple
hours?
of days, I think.
Yeah, because you usually don't travel by boat anymore when you're going to card competitions.
Mm-hmm. Usually when
That's
you're going
fair.
to card competitions, you travel by, well, you're just teleported there through a dark portal.
Oh, I thought it was
Right.
Big Metal Bird.
Well, you can't, Big Metal Birds it's a growing market.
I think that all the options are valid. Most people have to be a little bit more financially conscious.
It's
So
true,
the
it's
dark
true.
portals,
Dark
are
portals is
generally
very-
a better. Yeah,
very
they're more
frugal.
economic
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. They're also faster, but notably way more painful.
and not great for your skin.
Not
And
great
not
for your
always
skin.
accurate.
Not always
Yeah.
100% accurate. Sometimes you have to walk for like 15 minutes. It's not the worst thing, but
Right.
Now, I have heard that as long as you don't use them too often, they do exfoliate.
There is some temporary blindness as well. This is from personal experience, but it only lasts
Oh,
like
I've-
20 minutes.
I've never had the blindness.
It always happens.
Joey's
to me.
sister has.
Oh.
You
Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
Not quite yet.
She's on the road.
So there's a couple of things that I want to point out, but most importantly, so first off, according to the wiki, there's no mention of Serenity dying or being on
Oh.
death's door.
Wow. Okay.
Well, that's good.
That seemed like what they were implying.
There's no mention of it. It seems that she probably was going blind in the original also.
Huh. Okay.
Surprise. However, there's just a line here that I want to read, word for word, which is another change in the dub. Cut from the end of the dub episode is a shot of Yami appearing in the sky telling Weevil that he's going down first.
Because
What?
he has to be a noble main character. We can't get that revenge plot.
What I want to point out is, so Yami is the,
Is
the-
Big Yugi.
is Big Yugi. It technically Yami is a suffix and not a name, but we'll get into that. The reason why I want to point that out is he appears in the sky.
Like the
There were
JPEGs
a
or-
lot of faces appearing in the sky in this
Right.
episode, though, so I wouldn't rule that out.
It's,
Right,
well,
they
it's
were
true.
making use of this tool.
At the beginning of the episode, Yugi he's on the roof of the school and he's having a moment like, how did I get into this mess? He's having that sort of moment, and he just looks out into the sky and sees a JPEG of Grandpa expanding.
Just superimposed on the sunset.
Just superimposed on the sunset, and
You have forgotten who you are, Yugi, and so forgotten me.
and it's just like if somebody was in Photoshop and grabbed the right corner and expanded it. It's exactly what it looked like.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my, you're right.
It's in the first 5 seconds of the episode, and it just cracked us up.
We
so
had to
hard.
start the
watch-
episode
We had to
over.
start
Yeah.
the episode over.
And we had to turn subtitles on because we couldn't stop laughing.
What do we all think of the episode, just sort of generally?
I loved it. It was so good. It was so good. It made me feel the same feelings from the first episode, and I'll get into it because we're going to get into it. But oh my god, I am 1000% riding the hype train.
I'm sorry. Another change to the dub. In the dub, when Yugi was on Domino High School roof, Pegasus and Grandpa's faces were floating in the sky. In the Japanese version, it was just Pegasus. So the Grandpa JPEG was a 4Kids edition.
Huh.
They couldn't pay for a Pegasus. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Huh. Interesting. Maybe it's in context to what they were talking about in the Japanese.
Maybe. Well, because the Pegasus JPEG was in the dub as well.
You're right. It's just Grandpa was much more powerful.
Yeah. The Grandpa's was so much more notable in every way.
Yeah.
I really liked this episode. It was very motivating, and it also set up a lot of the characters that we're gonna be encountering. And it was a good setup episode. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it too. Honestly, I was having a lot of fun just the entire time through. Notably, there's no duels in this episode.
Yeah.
It's one of the...
And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Mm.
Yeah. It's one of the few episodes of the show, from what I remember, that doesn't feature a duel.
Like, one takes place, but we don't see it.
We don't see it. There's an implied off-screen duel. But yeah, I really like this is a really good episode. I love there are kind of multiple plots going on at once.
Mm-hmm.
There's Yugi and Joey's whole perspective of like Yugi and Joey are they're the sort of protagonists of the season. They're the duelists of the season. They're the two that you're really rooting for. And, like, this is showing Joey's, like, gaining confidence and gaining strength, and this is showing Yugi getting taken down a peg when Weevil throws Exodia off of the ship.
That was such a shocking moment.
Yeah, because, like, that's his thing. That's Exodia, you know? I was expecting to see him pull that out in, like, the next 5 duels.
No, it's
gone.
It's
for
gone.
Now.
It's gone.
It's in the... I mean, you could buy some more. You could go to the local Walmart and buy some packs of cards and hope that...
Go to the Dark Walmart and summon Exodia.
Yeah. Apparently, because because Yugi says that the cards are very rare. So, like, I don't know. At least for now, like that print of Exodia is gone.
Right.
What I'm expecting is a sort of biblical situation where they all get swallowed by a big fish and then brought to shore.
And then Exodia's just on an island waiting to be saved.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember the rest of the anime, but I kind of hope that somebody else pulls an Exodia at some point.
We don't really see people open packs of cards.
It's true. The sort of, like, we don't necessarily, because, like, there's the game shop, but we don't necessarily see or clarified how people are, obtaining cards.
Right.
Well, once they get cards, Joey's just trading them for...
I would say Joey trades to get them, and Yugi just receives them
as
from
gifts
his grandpa.
from Grandpa.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of Joey's deck originally came from Grandpa as well.
Fair. But now he's making his own way by trading with other people.
It's true.
Yeah, I love that as a detail. Mm-hmm. Like...
It was silly, but it totally made sense.
I put in my notes that Joey is a networking genius because he's running around the place going, do you want to trade? Do you want to trade? Do you want to trade? Mm-hmm. Like, everybody else is, like, settling in and stuff, but he's just like, I want to meet people. Yeah. I want to see their rare cards. I want to get their rare cards. I want to throw them in my deck.
And throw them in the ocean.
And then, well, hopefully not. Hopefully not. Do you think he had his cards on him when he jumped into the ocean?
Oh, no, I think they were on the table. Because there was a table there.
Oh, yeah. I didn't notice the table.
Right.
But also, it seems like apparently in this universe, water doesn't seem to do much to the cards. Because remember, he does grab 2 cards, and they seem to be totally fine when they come out of the ocean.
Yeah, well, I think that Yugi had him in card protectors.
Right.
And I'm only inferring that because in the real world, most cards aren't tournament legal unless they're in deck protectors. And can I just say that Yugi's deck box is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's like this gold encrusted, this
golden ornate chest. It's amazing.
I don't know if you noticed this detail, but it's the box that the Millennium Puzzle came in.
Oh.
Yeah, wow, I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice that. That makes so much sense.
That's actually awesome.
That makes a lot of sense. That's great.
I'm like, Yugi, you're making great use of this box.
You really are. Yeah, I feel like that's, other than holding the puzzle, that's kind of what the box was designed for.
Right.
Now, I know that Kaiba was not featured in this episode, but I do want to bring him up because you did say
it's canonically because he's dealing with the Ursula situation. We discussed this.
And now here's the ocean. It's all connected to Kingdom Hearts.
It is
that Yugi gets his cards from Grandpa and Joey gets his cards from Grandpa in trading. Now, Kaiba gets his cards from grinding his money into new cards.
It's true. He grinds coal, but instead of diamonds, he gets
10 million
rare
blue eyes
cards.
I'm just imagining that Kaiba is one of those creeps on eBay who is just constantly refreshing the page or like has set up notifications on his phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think. Do you have to do that anymore?
Well, no.
I think it's all live.
Back then you did.
Back in the day. Oh yeah, when this show came out, you definitely had to start clicking that refresh
Here's the thing.
every 5 seconds.
It wasn't him; it was his brother.
Yeah, and they were on dialogue.
You're right. Yeah. Kaiba does have a brother. We saw him in the first episode. And
never brought him up.
And also he's been unnamed to this point, so we will continue to not name him. I'm sure he was named in the Japanese dub. But
I just realized something, and we're totally way off topic, but I do want to bring it up because I think it touches on future plot points. Maybe, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Both Joey and Kaiba have younger siblings, and I want to see those dynamics build.
I do too.
Well, there's a lot of people. There's a not insignificant amount of people who ship Joey and Kaiba.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't love that.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. It goes against my whole worldview. And actually, this would be a perfect time for me to talk about something that I'd like to call the part of the episode where Marble talks about capitalism a lot.
Go for it.
Yes.
The themes continued in this episode.
We should call
continued
it card
hard.
capitalism.
Card capitalism. So here's the thing. I want to talk about Joey so badly.
Let's talk about Joey. Let's talk about Joey. Let's talk about you and me.
I am not unconvinced that Joey is the main character of this show because we've seen the most growth from Joey. He has a stake in this, and oh my god.
I mean, Yugi has a stake in this too.
I know, but it's like, we don't know much about the grandpa. We know that Joey came from nothing and has been working to better himself. And he's been training and he's been working hard. Yugi was handed a deck, but Joey built a deck.
It's true.
And here's the thing, right? Is that, Yugi had that privilege. Joey did not. And here's the thing. It should not have been that hard for Joey to get a deck. But in the world we live in, it's all based on capital and it's all based on how much money you have and what kind of friends you have who are in what kind of high places. But he still worked hard and he was able to get it done. It shouldn't have been that hard for him, but he did it. And I think that he's misguided at the moment. And honestly, I have in my notes, so they were talking about how there's a $3 million grand prize, and Yugi being like sort of like textbook altruistic hero is like, who cares about money in a time like this? I gotta save my grandpa. But Joey was like, I want that money. So I have in my notes that Joey is a class traitor. I am happy to say that that's not true. I was proven wrong.
It's not true.
It's later implied that, or not implied, it's text. It's not subtext, it's text.
Yeah, it's text.
That Joey's sister is going blind and he wants to make this money for an operation that could save her eyesight. Yeah. So here's the thing, is that it's actually super altruistic and in fact an incredibly noble goal. And honestly, I'm not saying anything negative about Yugi's grandpa or whatever, but I happen to just care a little bit more about Serenity's eyesight than I do Grandpa's soul getting stuck in a TV. I
can agree with you there. I also care more about Serenity.
Yeah. And let's talk thematic consistency, okay? So, like, what does this remind you of? Somebody who doesn't have any money, but they need a medical operation done.
May. It reminds me of May.
It reminds me of me.
It reminds me of the Scrooge.
Yeah, this is what they had to look forward to in the 90s question mark.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have a GoFundMe, and to be fair, GoFundMes don't do much these days. Not enough to fund operations, anyways, unless you get very, very, very extremely lucky.
Yeah,
but this is the equivalent of that. This is like his last ditch effort. This is his desperation to just barely force something to go right in a capitalist society that has overlooked him because of his class.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready, y'all. I'm ready for Joey to destroy the system. If Joey doesn't beat Kaiba, I think it's a loss. I don't think it ruins the show. I think it's a loss, though. That's my essay.
Honestly,
my weekly essay about capitalism.
I think that honestly, like, I'm personally loving going through this show again and just, like, having all of this, like anti-capitalism themes in it that I never noticed before.
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's
Yeah.
It is a joy.
What else do we know about Joey is that he used to be a bad person, but he grew up, he developed, you know? Like, I love Yugi, he's a good boy, but also, we don't know much about him other than that he's a good boy.
It's true.
We know that Joey had a flawed upbringing, he bullied his future friends.
Yeah, hold on. Does Yugi have any other hobbies besides dueling?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Like
talking to Taya.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, okay. His two activities are dueling and supporting his friends.
Which are good activities.
But, like...
You need more, my boy.
But, like, Joey's got things going on. Joey's doing things, probably.
Yeah.
Joey's on the streets looking for the next big thing.
He's a networking genius.
So I do want to talk about Joey's growth so far in these 3 episodes. He specifically states to Rex, like a famous person he saw on TV, it takes more than just strong cards to win a duel, which he learned last episode.
Yeah.
And he brought it with him, and that was huge.
Yeah, it's like I love, because this show isn't like, you know, obviously, like, you know, if all you care about is like the cool duels and the cards, like, you know, well, first off, this episode isn't for you, but also, like, the show will provide for you. But it's also got this amazing sense of, like, consistency and, like an actual, like actual character arcs and, like, growth, and I don't know, like, I'm so excited, and I'm so glad that, like, this podcast is happening so that I have a chance to, like, share this show with people and, like, talk about it and, like, learn about things like fighting foodons.
Yeah.
We need to
buying and selling the souls of our children.
We need to do that too. No, like, because it's like Joey is shown to be new at Duel Monsters, and you don't like, with the kind of character archetype that he is, you don't expect him to, like, grow and learn and just kind of stay a little strong-headed. But he is showing that he is taking the lessons that Yugi and Grandpa taught him to heart.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Joey, like, genuinely tries his hardest at, like, everything that he does. And, like, I think that, you know, it does come from, you know, coming from sort of his, because here's what we know about his background, right? He obviously came from, you know, a lower class family, a poor family.
Also a separated family.
Right, a separated family. Like, that's, like, part of it is that, and that's what we learned in this episode, is that his sister, like, he and his sister got separated. His sister got taken away, and, like, now they're living apart. And, like, I guess, like, Joey's probably living with his dad in the city, and his mom is living with Serenity somewhere else.
And I really feel for him. I do.
Yeah,
I do.
It's like he has a genuinely rough upbringing, and, like, he's still looking at life with like a sense of, like, challenge and fire in his eyes and fire in his heart.
Yeah, well, I think that, honestly, like, we're at a point where Yugi can learn a lot about friendship from Joey.
It's true.
And Joey, like, you know, he's grown a lot. He obviously still has more growing to do. But he just put his life on the line just to make his friend happy. Mm-hmm. He just did that.
With no plan to get back. No plan to get back. Like,
but you know what? His friends helped him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened.
He
trusted his friends, and they helped him.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, it's also implied in this episode that Joey, like, can now use the heart of the cards.
Okay. So, all right. Listen, I want to pick this up. This is very important.
Please.
So, I don't want to get too literature, but Joey starts drowning at the end of this episode because he's trying to save the Exodia cards for Yugi. And he comes back up, he's saved by Yugi, but it symbolizes his rebirth. He's letting go of his past of being, and letting go of his doubts, and he can do the heart of the cards now. And that is what I'm going for. That was very...
So it was a baptism, is what you're saying.
Yes.
So, okay.
Joey is the Jesus.
So Yu-Gi-Oh! Is akin to a religious experience, is what you're saying.
It can be.
I'm pretty sure that's been established at this point. I
feel
like I've been on a journey.
I think that is something that we have said at some point.
Probably. But yeah, no, like,
It's only been 3 episodes, and I don't even remember what we've said.
It's been a journey.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me.
But yeah, no, I saw that drowning scene, and all I could imagine was a baptism for Joey, and he's gonna come out of this stronger and better, and he's gonna win. Because so far we've only seen him lose.
It's true, we have only seen him lose.
I'm waiting for Joey to pull Exodia 2, the sequel to Exodia.
The sequel to Exodia 2.
Yeah, Exodia 2, Dancing in the Streets.
He's got it in the bank, we're waiting.
Well, here's the secret. He's gonna look into his deck. He has the 2 cards from Yugi's Exodia. We're gonna say that he kept them for some reason. And he looks into his deck and he's like, wait a second, I got traded the 3 other pieces of Exodia. Hold on.
Oops.
And then he summons Exodia in his next battle.
Now, is no one going to bring up the fact that Joey saved 2 pieces of Exodia, which symbolizes his bond with Yugi?
Oh my god, I can't believe you...
Oh!
You got me! You got me on that one. How did I not notice? Ray, you're a goddamn genius.
Well, thanks. But yeah,
wow.
that was pretty cool.
Ray.
But what does that also mean for Taya and Tristan, also?
Well, I'm
sure they'll have their moments. And
like I don't think it's like implying
it's not a direct.
It's not implying
is.
I don't think it is implying that like Taya and Tristan are like not Joey's friends. Like I don't.
Oh no, not necessarily that. No,
but
I don't think it's implying.
I think it's just implying that Joey and Yugi have a special connection for what's going on right now.
Yeah, because it's already been established that the pieces of Exodia represent the bonds of friendship they all share. So to have him save 2 pieces. Oh my god, Ray! That was the most galaxy brain thing in the entire universe. I can't believe I didn't notice that.
Yeah, that was really good.
Wow.
Well, that's what all 3 of us are here for, right? To bring this
to expand each other's and all of our listeners' minds on the the thematic elements of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes.
Can I just say, this is not what I expected this podcast to be, but I'm so here for it.
See, I've had a feeling it would be, but only because you invited me, and this is what I do with media sometimes.
I also do this with media a lot of the time, so this just kind of happens.
I super don't. I just let things sort of, like, wash over me.
That's fair, and also sounds like a really comfortable viewing experience, and I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, I wish I could have that sometimes.
Like, I'll remember everything that happens, but I won't connect the dots super well. Which is the same thing that happens with music, and I have a music podcast. Why do I do podcasts?
Because
Oh, really? You have a music podcast? What is it called?
Oh, Marble.
Time for
What is it called?
Marble.
Fake haunting monophone, Graham.
That, I guess.
That was really bad.
It's called Artificial Ghost Radio. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever else podcasts are found on the Lunar Light Studio Network, lunarlightstudio.com. It's a podcast that I do
what it's called.
with my friend Miles, and it's a really good show that I'm really proud of, and I really enjoy doing it. But that's not why we're here, is it?
No, but it's a very good podcast. Go listen to it if you have some free time. Okay, speaking of Galaxy Brain, I'm going back. I want to talk about Mai, who is one of my favorite characters.
Let's talk about Mai. The joke doesn't work there.
No. We are introduced to Mai, a very strong, slightly antagonistic female character who is a duelist. I was about to ask Marble if she wanted to talk about Mai's class standing, because I think that's very clear.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because she gets objectified by everyone she comes into contact with.
It's true.
As soon as she's introduced, she's objectified by Joey, minorly by Yugi.
I think Yugi is more just like surprise, you know?
Right, yeah. But Rex, on the other hand...
Rex is,
So she's objectified immediately. And also, she does not get a VIP cabin. You know, like she is expected to sleep in the common area with all of the other duelists, meaning that she doesn't even have a shower, which is gross, by the way.
Yeah, it is gross. It is
regardless
gross.
of how long the actual trip is. There should be a shower somewhere.
Yeah,
for people.
Yeah. So we honestly, we don't have that much insight into Mai's economic class. What we do have is sort of how she uses her deck and how she uses her skills, and also the conditions in which she's on the boat in the first place, which in this case, this is her first time while everyone that she, or not necessarily everyone, but the sort of other folks on board, the richer folks, the folks that have been in the tournament for longer are getting these VIP cabins. What we know about Mai is that she would really like one, but cannot have one, so is most likely a standing below these other professional players.
Well, I think the reason why, I think the reason why she can't have a VIP room is because the VIP rooms are only for finalists,
right, from the last competition,
right. So it's not, and like
she was not.
Yeah, she did not. There's not much to go on in the episode about her class,
but we can infer a few things.
We can infer a few things. Yeah,
it has been established that the more money you have, the more likely you are to win all of your games.
So
right?
Are we implying that Weevil Underwood is rich?
Yes.
What about Rex Raptor? Because I don't think Rex Raptor's rich.
I
think he is.
I think he is in a similar way Joey is rising up in the ranks. I think Rex was not rich and is now rich.
I think that he is. I think that he has to be, because you don't like, we're talking finalist. That means that he has all the best cards. Maybe not all the best cards, but he has an incredibly good deck.
So it's also,
he has some money.
So to give some insight, also, not necessarily into Rex, but we can infer, Weevil says at one point in the episode, when he's talking about all of the duelists who are trading cards, and he says that any duelist who is trying to improve their deck at this point isn't fit to be here or whatever.
Right.
So it certainly must imply that he's already had the ability, whether that be, economic or trading, although it's very likely economic, he's had the ability to obtain all of the cards he needs to make his deck, the perfect vision of what he wants it to be.
Right.
So yeah, you know what? Right. Okay. I'm with you that Weevil has to be rich. I still don't know about Rex.
So here's just to make sure that we don't stray too far from the original question, which is specifically. I'd like to say that at this point, I think we can infer that having the perfect deck, such as, Kaiba has the quote unquote best deck ever with 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon, or Rex and Weevil, who offhandedly imply that nobody should be trading cards at this point because their deck should already be as perfect as they can be at this stage of the game. We can imply that arrogance is a symbol for the capital they possess, essentially, whereas Mai, and to I would say a more featured extent Yugi, have good cards, and in some cases even amazing ones, but it's how they use them and the resources and the resourcefulness that lets them win out over the people who have all the deck, all the money, and all the good cards. Because as we saw when Mai was fighting, Now, I don't know this for sure because I'm not familiar with card rarity, but I don't think that she had, like, the perfect deck. But she was so familiar with her deck that she could literally just name off all the cards one by one, and it didn't look like she was using a Millennium item. I could be corrected about that later, but it seems like she is just so... It's implying that she's just so overtly familiar with her deck that she just knows exactly what it's going to give her and when. So I think that, like... I think that maybe she doesn't have a ton of money or a ton of status within this community, considering she didn't make it to the finals the last tournament. But she has been training since then, and she has acquired the skills and the knowledge and the game sense, and now she's a force to be reckoned with. Mm-hmm. She's gonna wreck shop. She knows what's going on.
I want to add something to this because I really like this.
Please.
The fact that Mai is a woman and a male-dominated game deck society, and like you said, she is using all the skills she has to win. Now, when we first see her on the boat, she immediately recognizes Yugi and is like, this is a person of interest. And she sees Joey and does not think that, which, is fair, but I think will surprise her later on.
You know what? Now that I think of it, looking down on Joey could be a symbol that she has acquired capital.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't like wealthy enough to have all these great cards before, but maybe now she is.
So
she wasn't.
Here's what I disagree with is the notion that every action by every person in this world is dictated by their capital.
You know what? That's
fair.
What? You're totally fair. But I think they're informed by it at the very least.
I think for sure, but I don't think that every action can be an indication of somebody's like monetary wealth.
Okay, I have a new read.
Okay.
Okay. Mai dismisses Joey because she's a lesbian.
Well, she's obviously a lesbian.
But she knows how to use her objectification in her favor because everybody underestimates her. And then she's like, bam, I know my cards. Take that, nerd.
Yeah. Well, here's the other point too: is that right as Mai is walking up, Joey and Yugi are talking about how Joey is only here because Yugi gave him one of his star chips, and Mai overhears that.
Also true.
So I think that also is a contributing factor into why she's looking down on Joey.
I think this is going to be a lot of this is going to be people looking down on Joey because his entrance to the boat itself and into the competition was so horribly public.
Oh, yeah, it was so public. The entire line saw him, and then he made a fuss on the boat. Yeah. He's been grabbed by guards like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's making a ruckus.
Yeah, and he's running around. He's like, do you want to trade cards? Do you want to trade cards? Do you want to trade cards?
He's making himself very known.
We're going to have a situation where everybody thinks that he is just a bumbling fool who has no good cards and he doesn't know what he's doing, but secretly, he's got the heart of the cards on his side.
It's true. Joey says it, I think at the very end, he's like, Yugi and your grandpa taught me the heart of the cards. He has it. He knows how to use it. Like, for all intents and purposes, like Joey and Yugi are have the same, potential, even if they're not in the same place, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And, Joey's tenaciousness might accelerate him farther than Yugi.
Which would be an incredibly interesting plot point, in my humble opinion.
It would.
I want to see that.
I want to see that, too.
I want to throw in just a couple more things that aren't necessarily, points.
Yeah, please do.
But they're more just observations, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
One, I don't think we're ever going to see any of the people we saw in the line waiting outside the boat ever again because they just didn't have the hair, you know?
Uh-huh. You're right.
They weren't detailed
Most people
with
have
bold
the hair.
outlines.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. They didn't have the hair. They weren't on an animation cell.
It's true.
So I don't think we're going to see them again.
Now, are you sure that we're not going to see generic young boy again?
Tristan?
Well, which one are you talking about?
Not Tristan.
Leave Tristan alone. He cares about his friend.
I love Tristan, okay?
The boy from the line.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry. Continue, Marvel.
I'm going to take you on a little bit of a ride for this last little bit.
Please do.
So, Have y'all read Ender's Game?
No.
So in Ender's Game, Orson Scott Card, who don't look him up, he's not great. He wrote the book, but Ender's Game is a really awesome book. But something that happened in Ender's Game really like set it apart, and that's that he predicted like blogging networks like way before they existed. And I think that, like, in this show, we see something that, like, tries to sort of predict a shift in technology, but it just didn't happen. And that's communicating by mailing VHS tapes to each other. We've seen it so much.
I'm so
We've
glad
seen
you
it
brought
twice
that up.
in 3 episodes.
It's true.
For some reason, I thought Kaiba also did it, but that's not true.
Pegasus mailed a VHS tape to Yugi, and now Serenity mailed a VHS tape to Joey, a very heartfelt one, but like this is like implying that writing letters is old school. We don't do that
writing
anymore.
Letters is over. No.
We mail VHS tapes to each other.
Now we mail VHS tapes.
I'm gonna mail a VHS tape to someone.
Please
subscribe to the Patreon, and we'll mail you some VHS tapes.
Listen, get us up to 10 reviews, and I will personally mail out a VHS tape to every single person who gave us a positive review.
Okay, so I was joking, but if you're willing to do that, I will let you.
I'll see what I can do. I will make the promise that I'll figure this out by next in a couple episodes. I will mail out VHS tapes depending on a number of reviews, and I'll figure that out soon.
I believe in you,
Ray. I can cut that out if you don't want to do it.
No, I'll do it. It sounds fun.
What's going to be on the VHS tapes?
Heartfelt messages. Thank yous.
It's going to be Ray in a Pegasus cosplay.
Please, okay, don't ruin it.
Please.
Don't ruin it. Shush. Okay, each one. Okay, it's gonna be pieces like a puzzle. I'm gonna be in different cosplays, and there's gonna be a secret message in each. And all the people who gave us reviews have to come together and figure out what the true message is.
I think you're making this like way too complicated for yourself.
Anyway, back to the episode.
Back to the end of the episode.
All right. Well, looks like our hand has been played. Thank you so much for listening to Deck of Friendship.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a rating on iTunes. It would really mean a lot to us. If you do, we'll read it out on the show. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us on Twitter at FriendshipDeck or at deckofriendshippod@gmail.com. Our turn is over. Your move.
Your move.